The Packers versus Cardinals final injury report just came out. So first off with the Packers, the players who have injury designations going into Sunday's game. The biggest one being Jair Alexander, groin injury, missed the past 2 games. He is questionable with a groin injury. He did practice Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, limited all 3 days. And he did say, per Matt Schneidman, that there's a good chance he plays Sunday. So that would obviously be a big boost for the Packers secondary that has been without him for the past couple weeks. If you look at the Packers' passing defense this year, 23rd in pass yards allowed per game at 231.6, 16th in pass yards per play allowed at 6.1. So no doubt having Jair back will be a big benefit. If he does come back, he's still, of course, officially questionable. But from that comment, it sounds like there's a good chance he plays, which is awesome to see. Then the other player, we have Jordan Morgan, who has been out a little while with his shoulder injury. He was limited Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He is also questionable. And then one here that popped up today, Rasheed Walker, Packers left tackle, has a knee injury. It was not listed on Wednesday or Thursday. It came up for the first time today, Friday, and he was limited at practice, and now he is questionable to play on Sunday. Now that could be a big one to keep an eye on because he's been the Packers starting left tackle so far this season. He, of course, took over last year when David Bakhtiari went down. And so my question is, what will the Packers do if he doesn't play on Sunday? They could put Andre Dillard out there, who they signed this offseason. They could also play Kadeem Telford out there at left tackle. Or would they want to, if Jordan Morgan could play, would they want to put him at left tackle? I know they've played him mostly at right guard, but he did play tackle during his time in college, so maybe that's a possibility if Morgan played. But that's something to watch. If Rasheed Walker does miss time, who will the Packers put out there at left tackle? And then we have Aaron Mosby's shoulder. He is questionable on Sunday, defensive lineman. Christian Watson questionable after missing the past game with his ankle injury he suffered a couple weeks ago. But it was good to see that he was back at practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, limited all 3 days. And so there's a chance he plays on Sunday. Romeo Doubs will play. He will be back. So that is good news for the Packers and their passing attack. And then finally, Devontae Wyatt is going to miss this game once again with an ankle injury. He didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, and I think he's been one of the best Packers defensive linemen this year, so that's a tough loss there for Devontae Wyatt. And then finally, it did come out that Luke Musgrave, Packers tight end, has been placed on the IR. He didn't practice on Thursday, was limited Wednesday, and so that's an ankle injury, so that's unfortunate. He's at least going to miss 4 games because that's a minimum you have to miss when you're placed on the IR. And then Tucker Kraft has been so good, so it's unfortunate to lose Luke Musgrave. He, of course, missed last week as well, but Tucker Kraft has really come in, been great when it comes to run blocking, been great when it comes to catching the ball, yards after catch. He's been one of the best tight ends in the NFL the past 2 weeks, and so I expect we're going to see a lot more of Tucker Kraft, especially with Luke Musgrave out for at least 4 games, which is pretty unfortunate. Now for the Arizona Cardinals, Kelvin Beachum, their right tackle, is going to be questionable for this game for the Arizona Cardinals. And looking at the Cardinals, they've already had a good amount of offensive lineman injuries. Their first right tackle to start the year was Jonah Williams, who only played 22 snaps in week 1, then went down. And Beachum has filled in for him since that point, and now he may miss time. So that would be, I guess they'd be on their 3rd right tackle. So that's not great for the Cardinals. As I said, he is going to be questionable. And then Christian Jones, another offensive lineman who I don't believe is a starter, he's questionable on Sunday. Then Zay Jones, their wide receiver, he is going to be out for this game. But the Cardinals do have a ton of talented weapons. Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, Trey McBride at tight end, so I think they should be fine there. Then Matt Prater, their kicker, is questionable with a knee injury, left knee injury, so that's a big one to watch. Then Darius Robinson, their rookie, he's out for this game. I think he just recently came back to the active roster after dealing with an injury, if I'm not mistaken. And then finally, they have their corner. One of their corners, Garrett Williams, is questionable with a groin injury. So a lot of injuries to watch coming into Sunday's game. Should be a fun one. If you want to check out my Packers versus Cardinals prediction, I'll throw it up right here so you can click on it, check it out. I go through all the biggest matchups, give my thoughts on what I think could take place coming up on Sunday at Lambeau Field. Should be a fun one. Also, if you want to follow me on Twitter, at LukeBeller3, I give my thoughts throughout the game, things I'm seeing, things I'm liking, things I'm not liking. So feel free to follow me on Twitter. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.